Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast.
Eccoci qua, the Italian Rugby Podcast live on Monday, January 26. Mike, ciao, come stai?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm buzzing for today. I'm buzzing for what we're going to talk about. I'm buzzing for next week. I am looking forward. It's coming up to Rugby Christmas, Otto?
Yeah, we are so close to 6 months. It's gonna be a double for us because it's gonna be Rieti first and then Rome the day after. So full Six Nation, full Italy development team, new faces, new blood for the Azzurri. So always good. But tonight, oh, here we go. Look who's here. Instead of eating a good pizza napoletana verace in New York, magnato veloce. Posto. Okay, we have also Phantom guys tonight, so we good. How we gonna go through this episode, Mike? We're gonna have a quick review about the URC games. So we're gonna start with Zebre. We're gonna go to Benetton. We're gonna speak about the news coming from the Italy's camp. Injuries already before starting in the worst moment as usual. So it seems useless to touch wood every time we get close to the Six Nations for some Italian. Some of them, they really have this, I don't know, sfiga. Sfiga is the right word. Like,
Yeah.
not bad luck, but really sfiga. Injury always in this period of the year. And then they're good. But Josh, ciao. And then at the end, guys, it's going to be fully speculation time. Future in Treviso, McRae birthday, happy birthday, coach. But he said also that he's leaving at the end of the season. So who's gonna be next coach?
That's an awkward birthday party, isn't it, Otto? That's an awkward. Everyone around, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way."
The first thing I saw today was the message. I was in class there, so I checked it on the phone. I said, "Oh, look what's happening now," and few like 7 hours later I saw next happy birthday coach from the page. I said, oh wow, okay, so but let's start with, here we go, with the Zebre Glasgow Warriors. Mike.
Oh man, for those of you guys who haven't watched it, scrappy game. Actually it felt like the scrappier it got, the more sort of frustrated Glasgow got, the bigger Zebre grew. So there was a point where it looked like it was on near the end, but they played. Ill discipline absolutely murdered them. I'm not sure how many penalties, but I know for sure
19,
3 yellow.
Mike. 19. Let me check
19.
right now. Penalties by Zebre in this game. Penalty conceded 19. Yes.
Yeah.
5 in attack, 14 in defense. That tell you a little bit about all those this penalty build up. What a nice corner for Glasgow, a nice maul from one of the best team with a driving maul, scoring again and again.
Yeah,
we saw already this kind of movies, Mike, Erlan Franchi, when the game
sat
gets
through this one of you.
Sadly, the maul for the opposite team grows so much in the game, and that is really a point that we have to correct as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. It's one of those where, like you said, the Anglo sides always can revert back. Actually, the first 15 minutes of the game, Zebre were everywhere. They were doing everything. They were attacking in the right areas. But again, I feel like I'm a broken record, and I'm not surprised if you have a hashtag for this as well. But weren't clinical enough. Missed that final bit of quality in attack. Some handling errors, forced, poor decisions. But realistically, had they converted the pressure in the first 15 minutes, could have had maybe a couple of tries, and then maybe the game opens up slightly more and it's more beneficial to how Zebre play. But what we saw instead was them just crashing, waves crashing against the wall of Glasgow and unable to penetrate that last sort of 6 meters to the try line. And then 3 penalties, boom, another penalty conceded, boom, line out, try. And that's the story of the tape. Like that, they did that, like you said, Otto, so many times. They conceded
Frustrating,
yeah,
annoying, as Josh was mentioning here, because despite all these, you lost by 5, you get a point in all this mess, because this was
I'm
a
unlucky
mess
at the end
game.
as well. That's the thing. Zebre are becoming a team with dog in them. Right, they have this ability, and actually, Franco Smith made some really interesting comments at the end, and he said something special is happening at Zebre in Parma. He's seen the progression. He said that they were causing him problems.
There was.
Admittedly, and he said the static phases, the lineouts, the set pieces need to be better. But if they can sort that out, he said they become a very, very, very good team. And that's really what we saw. We saw a team that's willing to fight. They got up very, very quickly. Otto, you were talking about it all season. You were saying how quick they recycle and get in the game, like how much grit and like tenacity there is in their defense, and how much they want to tackle and how much they want to sort of fight for each other. All of that is there. They clearly, Brunello said, "Mai ultimi again, never again last," and it's something that clearly seeing their name slip to the bottom like that hurts, and it should.
Exactly, correct.
But they need to be more clinical, mate. They need to be able to convert that pressure into tries or points, like kick. If you can't break it, like learn to drop goal, things like that.
No, they are really much more competitive in general during the game. You see, they can be scrappy, but they can still manage to do something good. Sometimes points, sometimes not that close in some other games, because there were also some heavy loss during the season. But it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do against Connacht again in Parma, because they can keep building on some good actually individual performance from some of these players, but still they have to get it together. Like we don't need only few excellent performance and some okay, that then everything goes into
consistency.
good
Yeah, I agree.
power of 8 against power of 8 in this game, for example, with the Mall. That is a big thing. So they can do much better. Good to see Pani keeping on that positive approach that we saw in the last games for him. So the performance is with him, and it's great because he's getting better and better, closer to the Six Nations. So he's gonna be on fire. Let's see. Let's touch wood. Let's touch a big
holy water.
A tree tonight, Mike.
Yeah. But he's an interesting one, because we talk about his kicking like as if that's all he has, but he was a lot more willing to take risks in defense, and I think you had to be. One player I thought was outstanding, genuinely so impressed, considering he didn't score a try or anything like that, but defensively, and Belloni, that was the best I've ever seen him play. He was
Belloni really good, yes,
really good. The thing is, there was lots of like littered positives in there. Garcia coming on just changes the way Zebre attack and the tempo, and it just suits better. I think he probably had a better feel for the game against Glasgow than Fusco did, to his credit. And he just found, and they were finding space all of a sudden, and little things like that. Montemauri, again, actually maybe more Montemauri than Garcia, because I thought he was more influential. He started running, he was exposing, he was giving short passes. He's finding form as well, which is
he's
really
finding
really
that Rovigo style of play that we saw from him. And
Run,
also
yeah,
with
exactly.
Lazio,
Like a 12
even with
playing
Lazio
10.
playing like that, but with space, attacking much more spaces from behind. Something that he always play 10 really covered at Rovigo, for example. Then he was much more exposed for me in the last year and a half with Zebre. But then if you start him put him back there and you find the confidence too, Mike, to keep going and keep challenging himself for a jersey, because that is the point. It's soon is gonna be, hopefully for Zebre, really busy, the back three, because Trulla will be back, so it's another name there. Belloni is showing what he wants to do. All good, all positive. Uh, Hopefully, Mike is gonna bring more tries, more points. We need the points on the table because, as you said, it sucks to see Zebre in the last spot at the moment. Because they are playing well. It's not
Yeah.
a team that is not trying or is not fighting hard. It is, but frustrating is there. Frustration is there for this reason.
Yeah. You know what's interesting as well? I really like Krumov as a captain. I think he's playing his best rugby. He shoulders the responsibility really well. He talks to the referees very, very well. Like he's not pushy. He doesn't. He's not argumentative. Like Fischetti's a leader as a leader. Like he leads, but sometimes I felt last year there was an element where maybe he should like take a step back when talking to the referee. Krumov is fine. Is playing. It hasn't impacted his performance. In fact, he's probably playing slightly more, and he's communicating really well to the point that where I think actually had Fischetti been captain against Glasgow, I think we probably would have saw a couple more yellow cards. If I'm really honest, right?
My God, my God.
So it like I said, the components are starting to fall into place, and I think we're starting to see all of the work that Brunello and the other coaches are really putting in. They've just been really unlucky with injuries. They've been really unlucky with like key players leaving. Zambonin was massive. Fischetti, massive. Look at what they're doing in the Premiership, right? Like you're losing two of your best players. It takes time to sort of try and sort of give people game time to develop to that level. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing where it's at. And yes, Phantom, for me, to answer your question, I'm shocked that it wasn't. It's mitigation doesn't come into it when there's no attempt to wrap. It was a shoulder charge to the head. But it didn't. I say, would it have impacted the game? We don't know. But regardless, on the face of it, I think Zebre, like I said, Krumov did really well to manage the referee. I think they can get away with having a yellow card. I think that probably evens out how well Krumov was working to the ref, because I genuinely think any other captain, we see more yellows than we did. So it probably evens itself out, in my opinion.
He tried. He tried well. He's doing his job, Leo Krumov. Ciao, Simo. Mike, a couple of stats to bring you to the other game is the difference of playing, because when you see Zebre, how many kicks during the game from both teams, we talk about penalties, okay, but kicks and retention of kicks, there's been only one retained kick by Glasgow in all the game. Really different from what happened during the game between Cardiff and Treviso, where we see 35 kicks made by Cardiff and 23 made by Treviso, with a total of 11 kicks retained, 9 from Cardiff and 2 by Treviso. The difference of kick of play was 16 and 19 for Zebre game, and here we are with 35-23. So more kicks, more kick retained, and probably this was one of the key of the game, Mike.
How I know you haven't done this, so I'm not going to I don't expect it, but this is a question. With those stats, I take it doesn't take into account handling errors off the back of the kick, because balls were going forward every single kick. Every single kick, balls were getting knocked on. So I assume that 11 is just kept possession and not like knocked on or no handling errors or anything.
No,
Man,
kept possession.
yeah.
When you
Yeah, I
jump
mean,
or you
listen,
get, or you slap the ball and you get that possession, that is a kick retained.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
this was a key part of the game because when Treviso tried to play this game, was not working.
Yeah, I mean,
Was
Storm Sigrid. The Argentinians did not like Storm Sigrid. They probably like, we should have stayed. We should have stayed in Argentina. We have to come and play in Wales in the middle of a storm.
and
No,
here there is a point by Simo, Mike, and then let you finish. It was not the usual turnover away from home. I can add like all young starters, uncapped players. It was full of starters. So what you get from this game, Mike? I thought about the tactical part of the game didn't work. What else?
yeah. For me, listen, like, yes, you're right. Simone is, of course, you're 100% right. That said, the turnover was in the key positions. So they won at the ruck, they won at the scrum, they won at the line out, and changing a front row with players who have barely played all season, right, against an opposition where that's the one place they can hurt you. Was probably not the best of ideas because we saw when Gallerini came in and when Spagnolo came in, even Bernasconi, we saw like the change in terms of front foot ball, what we were doing at scrum time. We were winning penalties, and that's where we looked the better team. So
If you look at the stats on this, you have 4 penalties by Cardiff and 2 penalties by Treviso, but those from Treviso were early in the game, and then the switch with the bench.
right, and I was messaging you because I watched the game back just before we came on. Gallerini came on 20 seconds, gets a turnover penalty. Right, he came on. I think it was the 69th or 68th minute. So he had 11 minutes. I'm pretty sure he got 2 scrum penalties. So he did 3 penalties in 11 minutes, 12 minutes, however long he was on. He is a very impressive player.
Energy.
Like he looks like he's starting to fill out. Like he looks, we call it man strength in England, right? Where
Looks
the
more a
props have,
man than a young,
right? Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah. He's starting to develop that man strength. He looks like broader now. He looks more like.
so
I
he's
was
gonna
getting confused
start
between him and
getting
Spagnolo.
ugly. He's gonna start getting really ugly and become a real pro.
Can't be a beautiful prop, mate. Like there's no such thing, eh?
Only beautiful French hooker, I would say. If you think about Zarzeski. How beautiful was Zarzeski.
Yeah. To your point, Otto, I think, and this was my genuine feel watching the game. I think Cardiff played better up here. They were slowing the ball down really, really well, like constantly falling on the wrong side. They played the aerial game really, really well. Like,
came back so good, Mike. Bottom was
yeah,
so good.
yeah,
One player that I really like feel like I don't know how to say, like kind of a hatred. I'm so hatred with him. Like I don't like him at all, but I know it's so good. For some level, is Callum Sheedy, Mike. The way he managed the kicks behind and he ran the plays for Cardiff, that is outstanding. It works so well. It's something that really hit. I don't like him, but I know it's so good. And in this game, you can see also that how he managed getting the penalties easy. Okay, let's breathe, move the ball quick. No, play with Davis with the 9, former Saracens, which is always good to do.
Also, him and Urin know each other really, really well. So they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses. They played obviously both at Bristol for a long, long period. Like I said, I just think Cardiff won because they were the smarter team, and they played position better. Sorry, they played position better. They played possession better, and they also played the conditions a lot better. Had we made the changes in set piece, like the forwards early doors, I think Benetton win that game. I think if we didn't wait the 60th minute, we waited maybe at half time, maybe take a more sort of Razzie approach, high risk, high reward, I think Benetton win that game.
More kind of radical.
Yeah, like a radical solution to a problem which existed, right? But listen, like these are lessons that hopefully someone's writing them down, Otto, because like they're lessons to be learned.
Absolutely, they have to be learned. What you learned from Carrera. Sorry, not from Carreras, from Farias, from Martin Roger, in a really hard game to for a new 10 under the rain in Wales away.
Yeah, I think we.
I'm not gonna give a more alibi about this, but it is what happened. So long may continue until the end of the season to improve and get better for Treviso. They need it.
Yeah. Listen, I was going to say exactly that. He's a new 10. He probably hasn't played whilst the negotiations were going on in too much detail. Certainly not at like the level that he's just been dropped in. It's going to take time. Let's start making decisions on the Farias brothers at the end of the end of the season. See like how much they improve and stuff. A lot of people tend to forget that even Brex played in Serie A Elite. Like he didn't just jump up and suddenly find himself. It takes a special player that does that. Someone like Spagnol, or someone who just understands his art. So I don't. To be honest with you, I thought he had a tough game, but it was a tough game for him to go in. Like in the middle of a storm, in a hostile environment. Cardiff can be like a really hostile place to go. And he did his job, but like he's going to have to improve.
Mike, a couple of stuff, and also Brex won the Trofeo Eccellenza with Viadana back in the days. He was playing with Gilberto Pavan, which is now the coach, one of the Zebre coach.
Love that.
Little fun fact. Couple of words on the backs, Mike, because Phantom is saying a couple of stuff. The centers they let Treviso down, and also Smith didn't looked a little bit rusty in this game. Also, I agree on this. I want to add something. Treviso keep being a team that enters so kind of easily sometimes in the opposite 22, but they are the worst as they can convert these entries in points. Is one of the worst team, and that sucks because you see them coming in and then, for example, the top play they did in the first half, moving the ball, and then Favretto pulling pass behind it on Cannone. Like,
Cannone,
come on, it gets frustrating in that way. But what about the centers?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just think play to your strengths. Menoncello, I think, was around excuse me, the 60th minute mark. They get a nice turnover. It's 3-on-2, just outside the 22, coming into the 40, and he decides to kick. It was a quick turnover, attacking in transition, right? Perfect for Benetton, right? Perfect. Had two players outside him. Goes to kicks it out on the full. Things like that for me, mate. Like those were the decisions that I'm talking about, which in a different universe they cause points.
Mike, another question that helps us also as a nook, because we're gonna talk about Italy's before going back to Treviso to look a little bit in the future, let's say. Do you think Treviso problems will be transferred to the national team? Usually it's not like that, but who knows? I think we have a different coach, different attitude, different goals for the national team, and that is probably everything. So they don't get transferred to the national team. These kind of issues with the club, also because there is a good percentage of good players also from Zebre and from the players that play abroad. But what do you think, Mike, on that?
No, I agree, Otto. I think Quesada tries to find, the super strength of that player and play to that, advantage. I don't think we're going to be expecting too many kicks from Menoncello in the Six Nations. I could be wrong. Can't imagine him being a playmaker, but what we're going to see is a lot of him hitting the short line, hitting like a switch option. Like those are the things where he's running into traffic. That's Menoncello's strength. So I think Menoncello's probably using this season a little bit more to develop, especially if he's looking abroad, right? He's trying to develop into a better rounded player, which we've been asking for the past couple of years now. So good for him. But I don't think Quesada's going to allow him to try and develop during Six Nations. Six Nations is to perform, and he needs to perform at what he does really well. So we're going to see him using his physicality and stuff. So for me, mate, I think just generally we're going to see players playing in their best position to get the best out of them, if that makes sense. Like Varney, quick, crisp passing, box kicking, so on and so forth.
Let's see more. Do we think that has been the usual overplaying of certain player? Start to show its head?
Tough, isn't it?
It is.
I think they've been better rotated this year, so I'm going to go ahead and say no. Menoncello maybe could have got a couple of weeks more, but he's been rotated quite nicely with Fekatoa.
With Odogu.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say this is the year where I think we've seen the best rotation, maybe more so than previously with Portolami, who's now obviously Black Lion and Georgia. But I would say we've probably seen the best rotation. I don't think that's a fact. I don't think we can blame that. I think Zebre have been unlucky. Final point. I think Zebre have been unlucky with injuries, which has forced players to play maybe prematurely or players to play, without the time that they needed to develop. Someone like Albert Einstein, you can see it. It's there. Like you can see he has quite a lot of potential, but realistically, should he have been playing the past couple of games, had Trulla, Jezi, everyone been fit, he probably doesn't find the pitch. So that's the point I'm trying to make.
So, Mike, you're asking if everything get transferred to the national team. We have the video from the interview today during the Six Nation lunch in Edinburgh.
Let's go.
And we had Lamaro, Captain Lamaro was there. So let's listen these 3 minutes of interview in the mixed zone.
Just going to be looking.
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into the first leg of the New Nations?
Well, first of all, good. It's been obviously this is the period of the year you're always looking forward to because it's the most exciting one. You're gonna face a lot of big challenges against the best teams in the world. So now, really excited for it and really excited to start it off.
A year ago, we had all the world's press in Rome for this event. How much did last year kind of build rugby in Italy?
Well, last year has been quite important for us, obviously, to build on our performances, and we now want to keep improving in a way, but finding that consistency that probably we couldn't be able to find last year. So having those big games, but then being able to perform every single week and every single game of this tournament is probably the main objective of our campaign.
First leg of the campaign, obviously against Scotland. How do you prepare for that game?
Well, first of all, it's you have to prepare physically because we got this week and then next week already into game week. So first of all, we have to focus on ourselves, on what we can do better and be better at. At the same time, starting to watch a little bit of what they bring and how to put them under pressure, not only in the stopping them, but even like using our strength in and their weaknesses at the best. So you prepare like this, and you have to face an unbelievable challenge. So you have to be very conscious of what it takes to bring the game to our side.
What on more about you personally or emotionally going into captain?
Well, it's always an unbelievable thing. Like I've never give anything for granted, honestly. Like yeah, this is my fifth year as a captain, fifth campaign as a captain, and I still feel like I'm the youngest in the team. So it's something very weird because you know, like you have to face every challenges you got, and now you know, every single cap, every single time I have the opportunity to step onto the field, I feel like I'm very lucky to be able to do that, not only for myself but even for family and all the guys that believed in me.
It sounds like you almost just enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% true. Like in the past, sometimes you kind of forgot that part, but at the same time, you know, that's one of the biggest part of our sports. Trying to enjoy it, because then once you're starting to enjoy what you're doing, you probably give more and more every time, and you try to achieve bigger results every single time. So that's my goal as a personal, as an individual. You know, giving my best to the team and trying to push everyone to achieve goals that we probably never achieved before.
So these are the words by Captain Lamaro. Mike, what do you think about this young captain, still so young? How do
Yeah,
you
he's
feel, guys, about it? Because we're thinking how having get transferred to the national team, he seems pretty ready for this.
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like he's clearly like growing in the role of captain, and last week when they were talking about the squad selection, there was a couple of questions which I thought, frankly, the interviewer probably shouldn't have asked. Right, some ridiculous questions, but one of them, they asked him about, you know, how does he feel about being co-captain and, you know, having like these vice captains and stuff, because the person asking it doesn't understand modern rugby. And the response that he gave was, um, listen, there's parts of my game where I felt I was giving too much energy as captain to give my best on the pitch, and I think now he's starting to understand the levels. He understands that he doesn't need to bear the responsibility of, you know, talking all the time when you have players like Brex and Roots and, you know, all
When
of
you have
these.
other leaders, no? Il consiglio degli
Exactly.
anziani.
Yeah, the elders. Yeah, as they
Degli
called them. Yeah,
anziani, esatto.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But listen, like that's the beauty. That's a beautiful thing about team sports, right? Like everyone tends to think, because it's always been the way, that you have one captain and that captain galvanizes everyone. It's not. You need multiple people that do that, because if you're reliant on one captain in a contact game like rugby, things change quickly.
Mike, why one day we're gonna have an Italian captain and he's gonna answer like this, and why the fight is between these two guys, Odiase and Trulla? Why these two boys in the middle? We should mention Odiase. We didn't say anything about him, but despite 10 minutes out, how busy is this guy? And
Otto, I genuinely
number
like.
8 today, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
last weekend.
yeah. Genuinely, he is such an impressive player. Like some of the tackles he was hitting in, just busy, constantly putting his body on the line, like really aggressive carries. He was unreal. Obviously, minus the ill discipline.
Discipline, that's true. Talk about discipline.
Yeah.
You know who's gonna be the interviewer if this is gonna happen? Only one guy can be the
God, who?
interviewer from the Irish, an Irish garden.
Oh, all right. Yes.
So how
Yeah.
was everything? Yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
yeah. You know, it'd be really good to have. If you guys haven't watched it, I think we posted it on our YouTube. Odias's under-20
Interview.
captain speech, yeah,
Captain
for
speech.
Italy.
Captain speech. That was
Yeah,
crazy. Mike, the two bad news on one side, Pagerelot, that is playing so well at Bordeaux in this last month and a half out for some like rib injury, seems like. And on the other side, some muscle injury for Riccioni. So out Pagelò and Riccioni in Garbisi, Alessandro, and Zilocchi. So
Yeah, I don't think Riccioni is going to be out the entire for a muscle unless it's like a really really bad muscle tear. I think we see him at some point. Like muscle, it's going to take a couple of weeks to recover, but we might see him in the second or third round.
hopefully, because we need
Hopefully,
all of them as usual. Stefano, just to we mentioned him a little bit before you start writing in the chat, so you can keep it from there. But we're gonna go back to Treviso in few minutes. Mike, we're getting closer to. Actually, they start the campaign today with the team, so they're gonna be together for a few days. Then gonna go out. Think about selection
yeah.
for this weekend for the two franchise. How many players will be rested in the on the national team side?
I hope all of them. I hope all of them. I know it's not going to be the
Worst
case.
is not gonna happen, but okay, I get your perspective on
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I hope if they're going to be key players that they're, maybe like half time, given that they're not overplayed. Like they need to be at the end, right? Iron sharpens iron, right? Still sharpens it, still whatever you want to call it. So they need the game time. They need physicality. They need that going into, the Scottish Hadrian's Wall, running into that. But also, an injury ruins everything. So
This is
let's
the Mike.
knock on
This is the
wood.
game time for the national team before this weekend. Okay, so
Yeah.
everything can change. Maximum 80 minutes. More from some player like Todaro, for example, is already over. Linag is been passed by Todaro in the minutes played. But it's
Yeah.
interesting to see the player that they played less. In this case, that are Dimchev, Rudza that played this game, but probably for me next game he will play again, in my opinion. And then Odiase, because he didn't start the season. Hold on a second. My cats are getting crazy. Let me.
No worries. Whilst Otto's doing that, what's really interesting? Obviously, some players you can argue, were forced. It goes to show how impactful Odiase has been in the time that he's been here for him to get a selection. Obviously, there's an argument to say if Licata was fit, would Odiase get the option? I don't know. I do think Odiase for me, and this is going to rub a lot of people up the wrong way, Odiase for me has a lot more potential to be a true test beast. Like in terms of he's young, he's still early in his development. He's clearly like really taking it serious. We listened to May. If you guys haven't heard what May has to say about Odiase, go back and watch that interview because he says he is the hardest worker. He always does extras. He does everything. And we see that in the style that he plays. If he can replicate that at test level, be as busy, even if he's not as busy, even if he's 75% as busy as he is going to be an amazing player. And again, I know it's going to rub people the wrong way because Ligata is like that guy, right? Like people see the lovely back, out the back passes and all that jazz. I think Odiase has such a high ceiling. I genuinely mean that. Back to you, Otto. Sorry.
Odiase needs to develop tactically. I think like you need more run in the right not right in the right space because he knows how to run and everything, but use more
Right decisions.
widely and better decision. Maybe more hand. Also, more passing in some way. You think you don't need it because until it's so strong, it goes well. But yes, it has to develop that part for sure. Good word about Brunello and Mazza, the way they were playing together. And Josh about game time, at least half out of all selected. So maybe Farias Montemauri this week, maybe no Dare, that can be one. Maybe Pani is going to be rested, Belloni is going to come in, maybe Bertaccini on the wing, Morisi. Now just throwing names that they are not in the national team, but they can be good for selection, despite injuries and everything. But Mike, let's go into speculation time because I think, I mean, come on, the news of the day with stepping down is like Kitty
Mate,
McCreary is a step down as a coach, and he's going back to Scotland to follow family. The sons going to school. This what it's written in the message from Benetton Treviso. Your
yeah.
thoughts on this? Go hard. I mean, what do you think about this? And the big thing is what's gonna be next for Treviso next year.
Yeah. So, listen, for me, I admit I was surprised, right? And I thought McRae was there as, to understand the project and all of this stuff. But since, and again, speculation, I just want to make sure, since the news, there's been quite a few rumours I've seen from quite a different amount of places that he's potentially going to be the new Newcastle coach, which means closer to home, right? Near the border of Scotland. It fits a lot of the bills, and also I'm sure he's going to love having the opportunity to spend money to build his own team, right? That's probably a dream of most coaches. So I get it. What I'm looking forward to now is who potentially Benetton can attract, because that's going to be the issue. I don't think Benetton are probably willing to spend that much money, although I think they should. Who can they attract? It's probably going to be, maybe a slightly more junior player. Maybe it's going to be, junior coach, or maybe someone who's, recently out of work, or, there's a downturn. People were floating the ideas of Cockerell coming and having a straight swap between Cockerell and Black Lions, between Bortolami and Cockerell. There's lots of different names being thrown out, but I'd love to ask you, Otto, who do you think, first of all, would be interested, and secondly, who do you think would be best, even if they're not interested? Who do you think would develop Benetton and the Italian players the best for the national team?
But I'm trying to go with two options that I think Fratelli Treviso can take into consideration if they want to, let's say, stay with a low budget and maybe bringing in another specialist instead of an head coach. Is you have to promote one between Wilkins, that has been at Connacht for years. He knows what to do, so he can do that for sure. Or if you're gonna be wild in a full refoundation of the team, you move with maybe with Marcato Costanzo, another Italian coach there, to take the lead and do something. Of course, here we go.
I love the speculation in the chat. I know we're both smiling because of that. Go.
I just saw it. I was looking at you. I saw you smiling. I said, okay, I have to read the chat. Let's put the chat in the stream too in this way, so we can see. So you keep writing. So Paris, yes, because the new president of Treviso is in a better position with Paris than with Masi. You remember how Masi left? So Paris never left in that way. So Masi, guys, I don't know how much they go get together on this, honestly. And please, no. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. No, but. So Paris is that, but for me it can be Wilkins. You bring another specialist, another defensive specialist, or you give the defensive coaching role to Senegal, and you work with another player, with another coach for the breakdown, for example, or you bring Marcado because you have also Costanzo. Who else can go there? Can be some part-time from the national team to be together. I don't think he's gonna be the.
What if they
He's gonna
follow
be
the black
option.
line approach, Otto?
You think
Black
is not bad? Is not bad in my opinion.
have to say that. Yeah.
I mean, oh yes, give it. My God, yes.
Imagine. I would actually genuinely. I quite like that alignment. Like I know, like again, he probably doesn't have the time. Like why would you give up your time when you've got like a role where you're really, really busy certain parts of the year, and then you can enjoy yourself and play polo and stuff at the weekend, as opposed to going to Cardiff when it's hailing, when there's 70-mile-an-hour winds and hailing. Like why would you want to go anywhere else? But listen, I agree with everything you said. I think like I'm completely like now. The other part of the question.
It's a big call, Mike, because it's a big call because he changed like a switch of strategy on a long term where you have to be patient with a team that is rebuilding, because now you have a 10. Next year you're not gonna have the 10 that is gonna play now, which is Nicolas Roger. Because there was the option for the 2 years, but seems like he's gonna get already a contract somewhere else. Because if not, he was maybe waiting to say whatever, but we know already he's gonna leave at the end. Umaga is there, Marin is there, probably is not gonna be there. A lot of other players.
So for me, I'm really interested in hearing. Like, so obviously there's some really high level, high skilled coaches available as well. Rennie, Schmidt, Robinson. Like, I don't know what Cheika's doing at the moment, but obviously he's always said that he'd like to have another stint in Italy. Out of all of these people, Kieran Crowley coming back, Phantom saying Franco Smith, who would you think it would be the best for Benetton? Oh, is that your answer?
No. We chat a lot today with Phantom about Franco Smith, and my idea is that Franco Smith is we didn't chat about this, but is a great opportunity for Treviso. But I don't think Franco Smith, no matter how connected he is to Treviso, is interested in this position in this moment of his career as a coach.
He's on big bucks. I don't think Treviso, first of all, could match what Glasgow are paying him, and secondly, he's in contract till 2028. So who's paying that?
That is the thing. Oh my God, I will laugh so much.
You love him, don't you?
Oh my God. Crazy guy like him, my God. But sometimes I think in general about exactly for this reason, Josh, who's gonna be the next slapped player or but in general I think also a French way would be interesting to see, but I don't know how much we are ready for that. Easier a Puma way in some way now. Think about Mario Ledesma.
So nice.
It's weird, right?
Listen, like I wouldn't mind.
I don't know how is maybe the connection with Quesada actually with Ledesma, but in general, let's say okay. But a good name would be Franco Smith, another great coach. Honestly, who is free now?
Crowley coming back.
Crowley, you think so? Can be.
I don't think he'll ever come back. I think he was treated horrendously by powers that be.
I thought about this, Kako, about the South African player, but who you want there?
McCall. For me, I would love McCall.
My God, you have to build.
I would love McCall.
He's staying with Sarris because, of course, you have
as a consultant, though.
Okay,
he's staying as a consultant till the end of the year.
Yeah, but Josh, be realistic. Come on, let's get real on this. Who can be a coach that can be the next one to succeed to McRae? If it's not Wilkins, if it's not a player. that we know.
Sorry,
Is
you
it
saying
Paris?
Josh? You meant Mike, right? I was looking at the chat. I'm like, oh, he's saying Urias there. Yeah, no. I realistically, it's going to be like I said in the chat. I think it's
So,
probably going to be someone.
like Southern Hemisphere coach, Mike. Are we going there?
Steve
Steve
Dimes.
Dimes.
Imagine Dimes. Imagine coming in first game, just cracking two heads together of some players and just spitting on them and just kind of
Building on the Laguna.
Dimes would be seen dead with a spritz. He'd be sitting there with lager and like a fag whilst watching. You'd love life. Funny.
This guy, I don't know, Mike, what is doing.
Yeah.
Mike, that's crazy, but thank you to bring it up, Stefan, because I was waiting so much to go there.
Go. To be fair, he fits the profile perfectly. Like, perfectly.
Please, Chair, please, but just to see what is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Going back to club coaching in Europe with a team like Treviso. What crazy stuff is gonna happen?
He would demand too much. That's the problem. He would say that he'd want them to have like a new a center of excellence and stuff. Like if Eddie went, he would set the standard. You know what I mean? He'd try and get everything going. Cockrell keeps coming up. What are your thoughts on Cockrell?
Cockerell, guys, seriously, why? Perché regà tutti con Cockerell? Alberto Benetton, who knows, Michael Brad.
For me, Cockrell and Bortolami are like they have the same vision on how they want to play the game. Like that's my opinion on it. Like they're very set piece heavy, and like Cockrell would do amazing with South Africa as an example, right? Like just as an example, that style or old South Africa, that style of play where it was very set piece heavy, like all of that jazz. I don't think as much as the Benetton scrum and line out is pretty good. The scrum is very good. I don't think you win game. I don't think you win tournaments. I'm sorry, I think you win tournaments like that. I don't think you win leagues like that. That's a game like you win tournaments by kicking, as an example. You win leagues by scoring tries, and I don't think we'd score many tries with Cockrell if I'm being honest.
Mall, scrum, set piece.
Maybe, mate, but like it hasn't worked for the past 7 years. Do you think Cockrell coming in will be the magic fix?
So Les Kiss, of course, is the great name. Simo, but is busy. The other one is Lee Blackett was, but is busy too. The guy
Lee Blackett would have, with all of the Wasps boys, would have been
the London Irish crazy year. All
so
good.
what, you want Skivs at Benetton, do you?
Oh my God!
Do you want Skivs at Benetton, do you?
What is gonna happen to us then, Mike?
I heard London Irish, and immediately I thought that's where you were going.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the last bomb on the speculum. Is Michael Cheika.
I genuinely think he's a credible option. He said he wanted to coach in Italy. He speaks Italian fluently.
Former Padua player, Petrarca player too, huh?
Yeah.
He played in Italy.
Obviously, he travels to Milan all the time with his fashion stuff.
Close to Lebanon, if he wants to go coach league when he's free.
Coach league in Italy, why not? Like there's
national team too. No, the two federation not the best together.
Yeah, I know they hate each other.
No, but Pavan. This is a question, Josh, that has been brought up in the Italian chat on WhatsApp. Pavan said, "Well, Pavan played a better rugby maybe than Marcato with Viadana, but Petrarca won the trophies at the end, twice. So
I've got an opinion on this though. For me, right, you can see the teams that win the playoffs aren't always the teams that win the league, if you know what I mean. Like sometimes there's something about being able to play knockout rugby, tournament rugby, like having someone who can kick, for example, like any opportunity to kick and just churn those over. Like the one exception I can think of was Quins, like 2 years ago, where obviously they were just running it from everywhere, like, and they were X points down in Bristol, where like there were, I think, 4 tries down. Like that's where it becomes different. Like sometimes you need a balance is the point I'm trying to make, right? Like, so teams that can get close to a playoff and then win, they're more tournament based teams,
Right.
not league placed teams, in my opinion.
Treviso, this is another bomb in speculation time. Could think first what style of rugby they want to play, since they haven't had one for years. Mike, if you have to think about what is the style of play that Treviso has.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's probably more like Argentinian, like, but then obviously they have Bortolami was very Anglo, like we've always said this, very like set piece heavy.
Kind of South
Now-
African, also with the
Yeah,
game
exactly.
that way, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, traditional England, South Africa, like that's the style of play that Bortolami had the vision of, and what I was talking about Cockrell earlier. Now, listen, maybe it's just because of the amount of Argentinian influence there is in the team, but it does seem that they're playing slightly more expansive out back. To be honest with you, like I don't. This is going to sound really bad. I don't know what the team is capable of, because I don't think we've seen it. I don't think we've seen it where it's clicked, like when they scored 70 odd points a couple of weeks back. We've seen it when it's clicked, but I don't know. Like even then, they left points out there. They missed opportunities and stuff. I don't know where the ceiling is for this team to say how best they can play. You know.
On one side, yes, I think they build up a lot on the heavy, as you said, but of course because you want to the strength of 8 men together, so all set piece area, because also you had really good ones for Treviso. But on the other side, also I think in the last year now, this year you can see like kind of like Connacht last year's. The way to play is that I remember to have watched different games. Treviso Connacht. If you see Treviso Connacht a couple of years ago, you see that kind of ideas brought by Wilkins back and now.
Quick question, Edu. Do you mean Duvenaka? I don't think Van Zyl played for Treviso.
Yeah,
He did. Van Zyl, as in the Saracens player.
not that Van Zyl.
Oh, right. I was going to say.
No, not that Van Zyl. But Benetton, that's the question. You think Van Zyl could warm up the Treviso's fan to have him? A player like him. Cockrell also close to Mogliano. We said this. The rumor to Mogliano, yeah, because he's free. So Caselato called him to be like a specialist to help him with a scrum at Mogliano. So maybe he went there. Maybe we don't know anything. Maybe having happened, but it's gonna be interesting, Mike. Depending, I would like to hear as soon as possible the ideas are ready for the next season for Treviso, because we need clarity on this because as a fan you think, okay, so what now, because it's January, it's happening in 6 months. How they going, for what they gonna play the players in a certain way? They know if their money on the line, their work, passion, professionalism, everything, but still also like when you have some kind of uncertainty, you don't know how to answer back, even in a subconscious way. That is probably a little issue.
Yeah, I agree. It's also I'm just fascinated about. I'm fascinated about where people outside of us who understand Italian rugby see where Benetton are. Obviously, they saw some big results in the Champions Cup last year. they've seen some decent results in Europe, and like realistically, that's the only time where people outside of us lot who watch it regularly will watch Benetton. So I wonder how attractive it is to the general sort of rugby population coaching Benetton. And I think that's going to be a really interesting question that needs answering as well, because like you said, Otto, the bits are there. Like a lot of it comes down to in their head, like how much does, just saying words mean to them? Actions always mean more, right?
It is. Talk about Van Zyl, which is now at Cardiff. He played 8 games for Italy, and he was the former assistant coach before. Yeah, but he played 8 games.
Wait, the lock.
Cornel Van Zyl.
Right. For me, Van Zyl, I think Van Zyl immediately Saracens.
Yeah, for me too. Actually, I thought about them. But I said, hold on, no, Treviso we're talking about. Okay, so it's not the guy. But
do you think Didi will come back as coach now that he's
love it?
or player coach at the Bulls come back?
It's also
Didi, if you're watching,
1 year before Six Nations, 1 year before the World Cup, so it's pretty hard for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Didi, if you're watching, or if anyone who knows Didi is watching, speak to us, my friend. Have a chat with us.
First, second, come, put your jersey on and go get this fucking 100 cap that you deserve.
I imagine
so hardly, and then let's enjoy the game together. No, I would like hey, bring in Duvenage with another South African. Will be okay. Ready.
Even this, right? Like he's obviously, thinking about what's next in his career. That's why he's doing the coaching. But imagine they did a charity game and they just said, "Listen, here's like a charity game. You play for Benetton, and
Baggio farewell. We're gonna do.
Give him the 100th cup." Yeah.
Oh, they like last year, because he decided to keep playing Zimo, I think too, because he wanted to keep playing too, not only to be assistant, because he's doing that. But hey, hopefully Duvenage will listen us one day and he will come and tell us everything.
I'd just love to have a conversation with that man. Like I think there's so much that we can.
So we go to bed, Mike, with I don't know, cloudy future, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. With the new, hopefully there's going to be sun at the end, so which means a good appointment or a good future. Like you wanna build a new path for Treviso, it can be really interesting. Also, there is the speculation with the new players coming. There should be this lock from the Hurricanes. Let's see what is going to happen next. That's it for today, Mike. A lot of speculation, some analysis, update on the Six Nations, Lamaro interview.
And just because people keep asking, we don't know who's in the Italy 15 team. As soon as we know, we will let you know, okay? We will put out something. Stop asking, I don't know.
Hey, the graph is ready. The graphic is ready. I have just to fill up names. So we're going to wait for names, guys.
Yeah. Also, let us know if you're going to be there. So comment maybe if you're going to be there. I think Otto and I will probably catch up with you. We're going to both games. So
if you're going to be in Rieti for the Italy 15, Scotland 15, or in Rome for Italy, Scotland, let us know. And of course, next week, guys, if you are in Treviso or in Parma, go find this guy. If you see a long red beard, long beautiful hair, here we go. Our Josh is there. He's been on the pod, so if you want to see him, he's there.
Looks like Chucky from Rugrats.
So let him drink. Okay, let him drink. Best thing to do. Mike, have a good night. See you next week. And guys, don't forget to subscribe, give a like. You can also hype. You know how to do it?
Oh, guys, we're so close, by the way. We're so close.
Let's go.
Please.
Almost 500, and from there it's going to be just downhill until 1,000, right?
If you guys have any WhatsApp groups that, you're talking rugby, maybe share. Maybe they might be interested in listening to two highly passionate, blindly passionate Italian fans.
I love it.
But listen, like, we just appreciate everything and appreciate the help. So if you guys do have time, just subscribe. It's free, all right?
Raga, ciao a tutti. See you next week with another episode of Fratelli di Rugby. Forza Italia, forza Zebre, forza Benetton. Dagli forti, dagli tutti. Mike. Ciao. Chat. See you.